What's going on, everybody? We finna get ready to get this show started. Uh, thank y'all for thank y'all for coming in and sticking with me. I'm definitely sorry I didn't get to do the show last night, and we're definitely gonna take care of business tonight and do the show. And we're definitely gonna talk about. We talked about offensive linemen last week. This time, we're talking defensive line. So, yeah, forgive me, I'm cut my PlayStation off. But yeah, we're finna get ready to get started in just a few moments. So everybody, come on in. Definitely make sure you guys share this show out, and we're definitely gonna get ready to get started on uh, the defensive line and also edge rushers. Got a couple there too, and so we're gonna talk about that and get everything started in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go. I never ran, said no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing? What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight. I am your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. We're gonna have a really good episode for you on tonight. We're definitely gonna have some fun, and we are gonna be talking. We're gonna be talking the trenches, but this time, instead of talking offensive line like we did last week, this time we're going to the other side of the ball, and we're talking defensive line. So definitely go ahead and make sure you share this show out. Definitely make sure you follow, whether it's on Facebook, on Twitter X, or Instagram. Definitely make sure that you follow on those channels there at TNT Enforcers on Facebook, on Twitter X at TNT Blue Enforcer, and on Instagram at Titans underscore N underscore Truth. Definitely go ahead and come on in. Definitely be glad to have you, and we're definitely gonna have a very good time. Also, make sure you give a like to the show. Definitely go ahead and smash that like button for me. It definitely helped me out. And then also go ahead and, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. So that way we know that you come on in and you joined us, and you're gonna be a part of the show as well. So definitely come on in and definitely come on in and be a part of the show. So definitely come on in and do that. And we're definitely getting the show started. And of course, these episodes, I'm gonna put these out tonight on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcast, definitely make sure y'all do that. And so we're definitely going to have a whole lot of fun with that. So I appreciate everybody being with me and everything. But as y'all can see on the graphic, we're going to be talking defensive linemen, and also we're going to be talking about the fact that off-season training has indeed begun as well, and the coaches did talk to the people, and so we're definitely going to go into all of that a little bit as well, and then I did a couple of mock drafts that I'm going to try to put out as well, and so we're definitely getting close. We're right at about 2 weeks away from the NFL draft. We're 2 weeks away from the draft, and it's getting close, y'all. It's getting real close, and we're gonna find out what happened. We're gonna finally know what's gonna happen with that seventh pick, and whether they go offensive line or whether they go wide receiver or if they just go somewhere completely off the wall. Which I mean that could be possible too. And if that is the case, I am not going to be a very happy guy if they do that. And so I definitely hope that they do not go off the beaten path when it comes to that because I think it's going to be very, very simple. So we're definitely going to have a good time. But let's get started basically with the fact that Brian Callahan, Brian Callahan, offense head coach Brian Callahan, offensive coordinator Nick Holtz, and also defensive coordinator Denard Robinson did speak with the media yesterday as offseason workouts got started for the Tennessee Titans, and I will have to say it is actually quite refreshing. It is refreshing to have a somebody that actually wants to talk to the media, that actually is willing to talk to the media and not, beat around the bush, and things like that. So I definitely thought that was refreshing that we had that and it was something that was actually pretty cool um to have because I mean, Mike Vrabel never liked talking to the media, and he treated the media like they were dumb, treated the media like they didn't know nothing, and it was really a real shame, because it just seemed like he would say just a whole bunch of nothing, and really, did a whole bunch of talking, but didn't say anything. And it's just so refreshing to have coaches that are actually willing to talk and really, you know, don't act like fans are stupid because when you're in these press conferences, you're talking not just to the media, but you are talking to us as well. And so I just thought that was very refreshing. I thought that was really good. What's up, Stevie? I know a bunch of y'all are coming on in. Excuse me, and I didn't want Rand to talk either. Um, I know some people are not exactly high on Rand like I am. I mean, I gave Rand, a hard time too, and I'm just trying to share some stuff out. I've given Rand a hard time myself, but I mean, I think in the end he's done a pretty good job so far. But it was just refreshing to see a coach that did not mind talking to the media, that did not mind, really just answering questions instead of beating around the bush. And one of the things that, he was basically saying was that, he's excited just trying to get to know players, and really trying to get a sense for them. Also, he said with Will Levis, he was like, he really loved Will Levis's demeanor. Um, you know, really liked his demeanor and really liked his the way that he approaches the game. Now he said, hey, he's got a lot on his plate because he's got to be the guy. And so he's got to prove that. And he's got to prove that he's the guy and he's got a couple of years to show it. He's got to show that he is the man, plain and simple. So I definitely liked what he had to say about Will Levis. Also on the receiver front, and I think a lot of people really kind of blew this completely out of context, and that was what he said about the wide receivers. And he said, we definitely, looking for somebody in the slot. Um, he said, definitely looking for somebody in the slot or anything like that. And so, of course, when that comes to fruition, Everybody thinks, oh, dad, he's talking bad about. Um, he mentioned Kyle Phillips. Um, he mentioned NWI. Yeah, give me a second. And so, he mentioned NWI. He mentioned Kyle Phillips, and he mentioned Mason Kinsey. He mentioned those guys, but he doesn't mention D Hop and Calvin Ridley, which I wouldn't have mentioned them either because we know who they are. But one name that was not mentioned was Traylon Burks. And here we go, of course, a lot of media and a lot of people just basically, got completely bent out of shape, and everybody just basically you know took that out of context, took off and ran with it, made a mount out of a mole. Like, oh my God, Brian Callahan doesn't want Traylon Burks. They're basically putting him on notice, and he might get traded, and stuff like that. And yes, even though Nick Holt basically said, "Hey, Traylon Burks will get what he earns," and he's right. He's right. Traylon Burks has got to earn his spot and stay healthy. But also, guys like Kyle Phillips, guys like Mason Kinsey, they got to earn their spots. You know, you don't mention D Hop or Calvin Ridley because, hey, we know who they are. We know who they are. We don't really know who Traylon Burks is supposed to be yet. So, everybody who is already basically saying, yep, Burks is done, he's finished, he's washed up, can you give the man a shot? Now, if he gets traded around the draft, then so be it. But if he is on this team at the start of the season, give the man a shot. Now, if he gets hurt again, then so be it. We know the jig is up. But until then, y'all chill out on that mess. OC615 says, just heard Ben Jones say Lloyd Cushenberry, one of the best centers he's ever seen. And that's a good thing because, I mean, you're getting that from a pretty darn good center in his own right in Ben Jones. So OC615, what's up? I haven't heard the interview. I think I saw that on Twitter that he was talking about him, that Ben Jones was talking about Cushenberry, and that's a pretty good thing. So definitely saw that. But of course, again, the two words that Brian Callahan has said this team wants to be: relentless and resilient. Love it. I absolutely love it. Relentless and resilient. And I mean, we got to keep attacking no matter what. I am with him 100% on that. Um, Parker said, "Do you know why people are liking Rand Carthon?" I mean, a lot of people probably don't like Rand Carthon as much because, you know, they heard the reports. They heard the stupid reports about, well, he, doesn't evaluate well and things like that. And, of course, Vrabel talk about bringing somebody in to supervise Rand. And I mean, again, this is Rand's first offseason without Mike Vrabel. And I think finally Rand has been able to just do his job. He doesn't have that huge, large, overbearing, peanut brained moron Mike Vrabel over his shoulder anymore, and he's free and loose to do his job. And so, you know, because I guarantee you, under Mike Vrabel, if Mike Vrabel was still the head coach, I guarantee you we do not get Calvin Ridley. I don't think we traded for L'Jarius Sneed. Not with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel would have brought back Christian Fulton and would have signed some undrafted wide receiver from 4 years ago that couldn't crack a roster to a 4 year, $45 million contract and be like, this is my new wide receiver, too. Rand, as people have said, let Rand cook. And I think now they're going to let him do that. And he's been cooking. He's been cooking. And so I definitely enjoyed that. You know, I didn't really get to hear much of Denard Wilson, but I know from previous press conferences, he like, we going to be an attacking defense. And, you know, with guys like Sneed and Wouzier, they're going to be able to do that. Now, they still say that, you know, the defense, they're still building on the defense, on the defensive line. They're still building there. And so I think some more moves could still be made. But, you know, let's see how this plays out instead of jumping the gun. Let's see how this plays out. And I think this could end up being something good. So I definitely will like to see what happens with the defense. You know, once the draft hits, I'm pretty sure they're going to look at edge rusher. They're going to look at defensive line, probably going to look at safety, maybe a little bit after the draft and stuff like that. So right now, and again, you know, as Parker Davis mentioned, Denard Wilson definitely mentioned Kenneth Murray. You know, could definitely be, you know, somebody that, you know, just can play free and, you know, not have to worry about the responsibility. And then maybe later add that on. And maybe there's a rookie that takes that responsibility. Um, and so we're definitely going to find out, you know, what is to come with the defense. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Uh, some other things that happen. Um, I'm trying to think if I've missed something. I'm definitely going to get to something else in just a minute. But again, yes, OTAs have gotten started. You know, they can't really, you know, practice. Um, they can't really practice. All they can do is lift weights. And so we're gonna find out if this strength and conditioning or strength and sports performance crew is really worth the money. That's what we're about to find out. And so we're definitely gonna see if um if they're worth the money. So we're definitely gonna find that out and everything. So this is gonna be very interesting to see. Hopefully we don't hear about any major injuries and things like that. So I definitely do appreciate everybody. Again, like Lou Man, go ahead and smash that like button as you come on in. Come on into the show and join us. But the draft is coming up. Next week we're gonna get into receivers, and I'm hoping I'm gonna have a couple of special guests on there. But we're gonna talk receivers next week, and then of course, the night before the draft, we're gonna have we're gonna look. We're gonna definitely talk about some other positions that the Titans may target, and I will unleash my final mock draft before the draft, and we will have a live draft show on draft night. It is going to happen. We're going to be live on Thursday night for round one, and we're going to be live Friday night for rounds 2 and 3 for the Tennessee Titans. So definitely stay tuned for that. We're definitely going to have that. We're going to definitely try to have some special guests. So definitely stay tuned for that. Draft night 2024. We are going to be live. Been live doing it for the last couple of years. And so we're definitely going to do it again. And we're going to have, you know, we'll have some guests coming in and out of the show. Definitely gonna try to have some of our fans join us as well, and get their input and things like that. So we're definitely gonna see what happens. And I saw a comment. Stevie said people are underestimating the value we have for the number 7 pick. I mean, that number 7 pick, depending on who's on the board, could be very valuable. I think if Alt and Neighbors are gone and there's a quarterback on the board, that pick becomes extremely rich. And somebody's gonna if they somebody wants a quarterback, they're gonna have to pay a pretty penny to come get that quarterback before somebody else does. So, and Parker says, please trade back in a second. I think that's where they do make their move is trade back in round 2. But again, this show is about defensive line, the trenches. We talked about offensive line last week. This time, we're going to the defensive side of the ball. And we're gonna definitely talk about. I'm about to give you my top 3 defensive linemen, and then I got 2 edge rushers that I really like, and then of course I'm gonna give you some dark horses of some guys that could get picked up by the Tennessee Titans that we are not thinking about just yet. But again, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and ring that bell. I know we got close to 20 people on. Right now, there's only 3 likes. A little disappointing. Let's get everybody that's watching up to that like. Everybody that's looking right now, go on YouTube, smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that like button for me, every last one of you. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe as well. And so definitely go ahead and do that. But let's get into the defensive linemen. And I'm not going to go in any particular order, but these are just some of my favorites that I do like. And let's go ahead and get the obvious one out of the way. And that is from Texas. We start off with T'Vondre Sweat, 6'4", 362 from the University of Texas. And so what I liked about this guy, extremely massive frame, massive size, overpowering, big time run stopper, definitely shows the pass rushing ability. Definitely gains the attention of the offensive line on the other side, and he absolutely showed out at the Senior Bowl. He was getting a lot of attention there at the Senior Bowl. So, I mean, this dude could play. Problem is, and one of the big elephants in the room about T'Vondre Sweat was he had a DUI last week. Got arrested for DUI and was out on bail. Got out on bail. The Titans did visit with him, I believe, this week. They talked to him, and I'm pretty sure, and I am definitely sure that was the topic of conversation. That was probably a major topic of conversation, was this DUI arrest. So that could add to some character concerns that you might have with him. He's not overly quick in his lateral movement, and sometimes his hand placement and technique could use a little work. But T'Vondre Sweat is a monster and could be a big time monster next to Big Jeff. And that could be a fearsome duo on the defensive line for people to try to block. And that could make things easier for Kenneth Murray. It could set up one-on-one for Harold Landry or Arden Key or whoever else we get on the defensive line. So, I think T'Vondre Sweat is a monster of a man, but again, the character concern, they got to get that checked out. Find out what really happened. Why did he do that? Maybe this was just a one-off, or could this be a part of a bigger problem? So that's something that the Titans are gonna have to find out and do more vetting of Tavondre Sweat. Another guy from Texas that I think has been squeaky clean, and somebody that I don't think could be in the realm of the Tennessee Titans, but it's possible. Maybe if they trade back up in late round one, early round two, Byron Murphy the second, 6'1", 308 defensive lineman. He's very similar to what Jeffrey Simmons can do. He's a guy that's a little bit more refined as a pass rusher. He can get after the pass rusher. I mean, after the quarterback, he could be inside or outside. Probably better outside as a three technique. Very athletic, very quick, has some good get off. So I definitely do like that. But the problem is, and with the problem with a lot of the edge rushers that we're going to talk about as well, has some struggles against the run. He could get swallowed up inside in the run game. And sometimes, he's at 308. He doesn't use his size to his advantage. And so sometimes he could get swallowed up. So he may be better as a three technique than like a nose tackle or an interior on a 4-3. Like in a 3-4, I would put him as a defensive end. I mean, on 4-3. He would be a 3-4 defensive tackle, like outside, not in the nose. And then in a 4-3, I would line him up as a defensive end, honestly, if it was me. But Byron Murphy is a guy that could fall maybe to the second round. He's probably going to get picked up late first, but he could fall late, early in the second round. Tavondre Sweat, I mean, with this trouble that he has, a lot of people had him going maybe, mid to late round one, maybe definitely round two. He could slip to the third or fourth round with this trouble that he's dealing with. So that could be something else that could be an issue. But these two guys from Texas could definitely be something. Parker Davis said, I think we could get T Sweat in the fourth round because of his arrest. And that is very, very possible. That is something that could definitely happen. Um, is that. But another guy that I'm really liking is Braden Fisk, 6'5", 297 from. Okay, having a little trouble. So having to go to my phone for a second while I get everything back up. So I mean, definitely I like um Fisk for what he could do. He could be a liability in the run game. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Um, Had to kind of make a quick switch for a second while I get get my microphone back together. But just having a little difficulty. Let me know if y'all can hear me right now on the phone and everything. But I think I'm getting my mic back. Definitely trying to get my mic back and everything. So can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. But one thing I will say with Braden Fisk that I do like is that he doesn't quit. He doesn't give in. He doesn't give up. And that is something that I am extremely impressed with when it comes to Braden Fisk. And I think this guy is he could definitely be something. He could definitely be something. He could be he could definitely be a true part of the pass game. He definitely knows how to get after the quarterback and things like that. And so I am definitely a fan of one Braden Fisk. I am definitely a fan of him. I like Braden Fisk a lot, and I think he is somebody that can be a terror for pass rushing. And so I definitely do like that. The fourth guy I want to bring up, and this is a guy that I think could be there in round two, but maybe not as likely. I go to my edge rushers, and that's Chop Robinson from Penn State. 6'3, 254. And this guy is a legit pass rushing guy. He is violent. He get, he has an amazing, he has amazing get off, great first step. This guy, he is basically like, I am getting after the quarterback no matter what. That is what he wants to do. That is his aim, is to get after the quarterback, if nothing else. And so I definitely like that with him. He has some get off. He has some good pass rushing moves. He is definitely relentless. Um, he gets after it. He definitely gets after it. Now, some problems he may have is definitely his frame. Um, definitely his frame. Definitely kind of small. Definitely needs to set the edge a bit better. He definitely has issues against the run, which can hinder him. Right now he's a guy that, people just see as a pass rush guy and not as anybody that can help in the run game. So that is an issue that he's gonna have to get ironed out. But and I think I might finally have my microphone back. And everything. But Chop Robinson, I just think is, Chop Robinson, this dude, if he can refine and get better against the run, this dude could be dangerous. And I really like that about him. And I think I might be back. All right, I think I'm back. And so I apologize for that, everybody, but I am back on my computer. Got my microphone, I had to fix that up. But one thing about Chop Robinson that I do like is, again, fast, first step, violent. He is definitely a pass rusher, but he's going to have to work on his run game if he's going to be an effective NFL player. I watched a video, and one of the comparisons to him was Vic Beasley, and I was like, oh no. I was like, don't go down the Vic Beasley road. But I definitely do like Chop Robinson's game. And the last pass rusher that I have, and it's a guy that the Titans have definitely shown interest in, is Darius Robinson from Missouri, 6'5", 285. And this guy is basically one word: power. Power. He is powerful. And he is powerful. He has a dominant bull rush. He has a pretty big frame, can be very versatile. He can play inside or outside, 3-4 or 4-3. Very versatile, very versatile. So I definitely do like that. Problem is, he does need to get some more pass rushing moves besides just the bull rush. The bull rush cannot be his only move. Um, he's gonna have to have something else in his bag of tricks. And so that's why he needs some more refinement, some more technique. And then he's pretty stiff and doesn't have that quickness that a pass rusher needs to have. Now, technique can be taught, that can be fixed, that can be taught, and that can be helped in his game. And he's got to be able to add that to his arsenal. But this guy is big. He's got a little bit of a mean streak to him, which I like. Big frame, big power. But I know the Titans have, I believe they met with him at the Senior Bowl, and they did a Zoom meeting with him recently as well. So definitely is a guy that they seem to be impressed with. But but also, there's a few other guys that didn't make my top five, but are some guys worth paying attention to. And I'm gonna actually bring those up in just a brief second. But um, pass rusher and defensive line is starting to become much more of a need than I initially anticipated and thought of, but it's needed. It's definitely needed with that. So I definitely look forward to that. But here's a couple of dark horses that I liked. I have 5 defensive linemen and 5 edge rushers that could be my dark horses. Defensive tackle. I put this guy at the top, Jerjon Newton of Illinois. I put him up there because you know, he's a guy that maybe I could see fall. He's probably not going to be in range of the Titans at 38. I definitely don't think we pick him at 7. I know some people have him highly. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But again, Jerjon Newton of Illinois, Chris Jenkins Jr. of Michigan, Brandon Dorless from Oregon, Mason Smith from LSU, and McKinley Jackson from Texas A&M. Edge rusher, you got to mention Dallas Turner and Latu Latu. And I did forget to mention Jarrett Verse, but I don't think any of those guys are going to be picked by the Titans or be in range in round 2. And I would not pick any of them. If Dallas Turner is the pick at 7, I'm going to be pissed off, especially if Joe Alt's on the board, if Malik Neighbors is on the board, if Roma Dunzier is on the board, if Olu Fashanu is on the board, and you pick Dallas Turner at 7, I'm going to be a little ticked off. Latu, I believe, is dealing with an injury, so he could drop. I could definitely see that. Um, you know, definitely Jarrett Verse. I think he's gonna go in the first round, so I didn't really put him on this list because I think he'll be gone. Um, Chris Braswell, as um as Parker Davis mentioned, in the second round, dude is a gem. Uh, the word that comes to mind with him that I've been hearing is raw. He is still kind of raw. Definitely a good pass rusher, but could still use some work. Definitely not a finished product. Um, and like a lot of these rushers, good at getting after the passer, but they gotta be able to help in the run game as well. Willis Nealon from Western Michigan, who was getting a lot of love at the Senior Bowl, is another. Definitely, he was getting a lot of love at the Senior Bowl, but he could be very versatile and things like that too, but he still has work in his game. And Adiza Isaac from Penn State, the guy that was on the other side of Chop Robinson, could be another guy. Some of these guys could go in round 2 or round 3. Uh, and so I definitely do like some of these guys that could be possible pass rushers, but I don't think pass rush is as big of a need as a lot of people think, but it's definitely a need now. But I still think you go wide receiver, offensive tackle with your first 2 picks. Now, if you can get an extra pick, then yes, I would definitely look at defensive line or edge rusher. But speaking of mock drafts and where we gonna go, I did a couple of mock drafts that I'm gonna put out later on. And thank y'all for sticking with me. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I'm probably gonna get myself a new microphone because I'm really getting sick and tired of this one always going in and out and not just operating the way that it should. Um, but I got a couple of mock drafts that I did, and I want to get your thoughts on that. Here's the first mock draft that I did. Um, this is off of PFF. I was only able to do 2 rounds because I know we don't have a third round pick, and I couldn't trade. But in round 1, of course, I went Joe Alt at 7. Second round, I went with Braden Fisk. There was no really good wide receiver worth taking at that pick. And so I just thought Braden Fisk, I liked him. We need help on the defensive line. I thought that was a pretty good 2 picks right there in rounds 1 and 2. And that was off of PFF. Now, Pro Football Network, I was able to do a little bit more. And this is what I did. I did some maneuvering. Now, I traded back with New Orleans to 14. Joe Alt was not on the board at the time. I trade. Well, no, I take that back. Joe Alt was on the board, and I took a gamble. Shouldn't have, but I did. And so, and Parker, if you want to talk about O line, go back and look at my show last week. I did talk O line extensively. But I traded back with the Saints, picked up the 45th pick, and I got Olu Fashanu at 14. And then at 44, I traded back from 38 and picked up a third round pick, picked up some extra picks, and got Tavondre Sweat. And then at 45, right behind it, I could not pass on Troy Franklin. I had to go ahead and pick him up. Then at 86 in the third round, there was a tight end, Jatavion Sanders. I had to go ahead and scoop him up. Definitely is an athlete. In the fourth round, after a trade back, got Austin Booker, an edge rusher from Kansas. Then at 146, I picked Zach Zentner, an interior offensive lineman from Michigan. And then at 177, trading back, got Kenny Logan Jr., a safety out of Kansas. At 189, saw this guy at the top of the board. I was like, you know what? This is a luxury. I got to get a hometown kid, Blake Watson from Memphis. This guy could fit very, very well with Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. So a couple of Memphis guys together. Then I went back to the defensive line and got Jawan Briggs at 221 in the seventh round. Had a couple of seventh round picks. Picked up DeCameron Richardson, a defensive back from Mississippi State at 239. I went ahead and drafted a quarterback. I got Sam Hartman out of Notre Dame. And then I kind of regret I didn't get another receiver. I should have, but I went with Luke Reimer, a linebacker from Nebraska. And I also picked up a 2025 fifth round pick from Jacksonville. So that was on Pro Football Network, that draft. So let me know what y'all think of my two mock drafts. Let me know if you like them. Let me know if you hate them. Let me definitely know what you think. If you're back here with me and stuck with me even through my technical difficulties, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe. Of course, cash um super chats are appreciated as well. So definitely do thank everybody for tuning in. But last but not least, before we do get out of here, we got some sad news in the football world today, and that was with the passing of Orenthal James Simpson, aka O.J. Simpson, formerly of the Buffalo Bills, Hall of Fame running back, who passed away today, who passed away last night at the age of 76. Now, I know a lot of people don't really, I mean, besides, outside of football, there's really not a lot of good things to say about him. I know a lot of people have made a lot of memes, a lot of jokes in regards to him, but I'm going to stick to strictly football. The dude was a heck of a running back. I mean, ran for 2,000 yards, and I believe he did it in 14 games, I want to say, for the Buffalo Bills. And so was a tremendous football player, definitely was a big part of that Buffalo community. And yes, he did do some bad things. God bless, God rest his soul, Johnny Cochran. He did get him off of that case. He acquitted him and things like that. And, OJ did some stupid things outside of football, but you cannot deny that guy was an extremely talented football player. And so, rest in peace, O.J. Simpson passed away at the age of 76 last night. Was surrounded by his children and his grandchildren at his bedside, lost his battle, I believe, with prostate cancer. So rest in peace to O.J. Simpson, and deepest condolences to the Simpson family. But that's gonna just about do it for today's show. Next week again, we're gonna be talking wide receivers. We're definitely gonna get into the wide receivers a little bit. I'm hoping to have. I'm gonna try to see if I can get my guy TD to join, and I'm gonna see if I can bring his gang of guys with him. I'm gonna try to see if I can do that. And we're definitely gonna talk wide receivers. That's gonna be a big show, so definitely stay tuned for that. And of course, the draft show is gonna be coming soon as well. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to tonight's show. My name is Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. The NBA season is about to end. Shout out to the Nashville Predators for making the playoffs. Even though the Showboats lost, shout out to my Showboats. They're 1-1 on the UFL season. They play the Birmingham Stallions Saturday. I hope they can pull out a win. Blue Man says Malachi Corley. He could be a guy like I could talk about. So, y'all definitely stay tuned for next week. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. I hope everybody has a very good rest of your Thursday. And tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.